Good evening, Dr. Chavis. My name is Casey Lindo, and this is my presentation about how Sojourner Truth changed the world. One quote that I ran across that hit me was a quote by Sojourner Truth in the address to the first annual meeting of the American Equal Rights Association. This quote states, "There is a great stir about colored men getting their rights, but not a word about colored women. And if colored women get their rights, and not colored women theirs, you see, the colored men will be masters over the women, and it will just be as bad as it was before." See, this hit me hard because Sojourner Truth is not only fighting for African American rights, but all women in general. She states in this quote that men always get their way over women. She shows that this is a huge problem and that this needs to stop immediately because women are just as good as men, and it should not be this hard. My thesis statement stated that Sojourner Truth changed the way we think about women because she is a supporter of both women rights and abolition, gave one of the most famous speeches called "Ain't I a Woman?" and she died a free woman. Sojourner Truth, surprisingly, was born by the name Isabella Pumphrey, or otherwise known as Belle. She was born in 1797 in Swartkill, New York, and she was actually born with 12 different siblings and sadly ripped apart and split up from each and every one of them. She was actually born a slave in New York, and then when she grew up later to meet a man named Robert. This is a picture showing of her youth, showing how young she was when she married this man named Robert. When she married this man named Robert, they fell in love, and they had a child named Diana. But sadly, the owner of Robert's master, he stated that they could not be together anymore because any offspring of Isabella Pumphrey, or Belle at the time, would not be property of his, were property of Sojourner Truth's master. So he forbid them never to see each other again. And instead, Sojourner Truth would be compelled to meet another man named Thomas, and there she would have 3 kids with him. But later on, she would escape. She would escape to her freedom at the age of about 27 with her infant child named Sophia, the last child she had with Thomas. Sojourner Truth would later on work in a library when she escaped to the higher upstates of New York, and then she would be able to travel, stating her facts about abolitionists and women's rights. And then, but this was about 1850, and in 1851, she gave her most prominent speech about black women abolition, named "Ain't I a Woman?" This was a very, very fantastic speech because it showed how much of a voice Sojourner Truth had. And in this speech, this grew huge publicity. And even though the people that weren't published there, it published so many different places so fast. And this was just incredible because back in the day, 1851, you can only publish things so fast, and this moved very quickly, and Sojourner Truth's reputation grew to a whole new level. Sojourner Truth would die at the age of 86 on November 26, 1883. Her legacy was just incredible. 4 decades after her death, the women's suffrage movement would have made a great impact on the Constitution. In 1920, women would be able to vote, and this all started with Sojourner Truth. When she jumped onto this train, she moved it to an entirely new level. And it's just amazing how much she's done for women and African American rights. She's just as prominent as leaders like Frederick Douglass. And she even had the incredible statue of meeting Abraham Lincoln, which not many white people in that time even met him, nor black people. And she was an African American woman that was able to meet him. In my eyes, it's just incredible to see that a black woman doing so much for her race and her gender. This is my presentation on why Sojourner Truth changed the world. Thank you.